Okay, so sorry if the audio is dog shit, by the way, but basically, I'm gonna do a tutorial on Silent Hill 2, any percent or new game. Uh, I would recommend. Oh jeez, I'm dropping shit. I would recommend. Make sure the video doesn't play. To watch Punchy's tutorial first, as he's better at explaining things. And I think that's good to learn the route early on. I'm going to spend a lot more time sort of detailing more obscure aspects of the run. So I guess you could say this is more of like an advanced tutorial. I'm still going to go over the route though, so, but it might not be super concise. It might be kind of convoluted. It might be kind of contrived, but I'll try my best to explain everything. Is there anything else I want to say? I'm not going to really explain RNG manipulation too much because I think there's another video by Aaron that does it way better than I could. So just go ahead and watch that video about RNG manipulation. But if you're just completely new and seeing this, basically just know that the frame that you like, the game runs and it calculates every frame that the game's running, right? So the instant that you press one of these buttons, it will lock that frame basically. So and each frame of the game is a different seed. I probably explained that poorly. That's how, very simple explanation of how it works, but I'll link Aaron's video in the description for that. But firstly, let's start off with the options. Most options are fairly irrelevant. They're all just personal preference largely. This is important. We play on directional style, which gives you also a demonstration on the right stick. Get a larger axis of movement, and you can make a lot sharper corners than you can with tank. But it can be a bit difficult to learn if you're more experienced with tank and have to switch to 2D, which is what we call this, 2D, 3D. That can be kind of jarring. So I'll go more into detail when we get into the game. Go through all the options. Most of these are preference. I would recommend run. Default is walk. Basically, this just means that you're always going to be running when moving. You don't have to press a run button. However, you don't want to use analog. I made this mistake for a long time. I play in analog because there's a few functionality things that get kind of ruined. Like if you want to be optimal, which I'll explain in the run, and also the boat. If you try to do the boat on keyboard, which is the optimal way to do it, analog will completely ruin your speed. So just play on run basically. But you can play on walk if you want to. Just keep in mind you're gonna have to be constantly holding a run button. View control, I actually never experimented with this. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I might have to check that out later to see what that is, but I have mine on normal, and the rest of this is whatever. Leave bullet adjust at 1. It's important. If you have anything else, it's considered cheating. It basically just multiplies the amount of ammo you have. Just leave that as 1. Advanced options, I recommend pumping the brightness as far as you can. I personally play on 2x gamma as well, like on NVIDIA control panel, you can change your gamma. I play on 2.0. The rest of it though is essentially preference. High-res textures, if you have them off, you will get these special lines on the ground that are just from the low res, and that can actually help a little bit, but you sort of sacrifice quality, and you also sacrifice puzzles fidelity. Like sometimes it can be kind of hard to read what's on puzzles, but I would say it's, if you can deal with the puzzles, it's probably more optimal to have it off, but it doesn't really matter. Most of this doesn't matter. I would have lens flare on, however, because certain sections you need your light on, and you can see the lens flare very easily in the dark. But the rest of it is fairly up to you, whichever you want to do. It doesn't really matter that much. My controls, these are all fairly standard. I don't actually use these though. These are just keys for joy to key, which is what I actually use. I'm not going to explain every single control, but you'll sort of catch on if you watch the controller on top right. The main thing though is that I have my inventory button, which I use as right bumper, and also the back button as well. But You want that on an off hand that's not your movement hand, right? So this left side, this left stick is my movement, and you want your inventory button to be on the opposite hand. And I'll explain that in the run, but just trust me, you're going to want that. I'm not really going to explain how to use joy to key, but essentially all these keys, just map them to buttons with joy to key. There's tutorials out there for joy to key. It's not too hard to figure out. The game does have native control options, but I use a 360 controller and it doesn't really detect the triggers correctly, so yeah, that's a lot of time spent on just the intro. Probably wasted, but who cares? Yeah, let me restart. You have to restart the game every time you do a run because it resets the RNG. You have to let the splash screens play out as well if you want to be consistent with the charts, the RNG chart, which Aaron explains better in the RNG video. I'm not going to go over the RNG too much, other than explaining what's affected by what. So you sort of want to start like that. You'll learn the timing. The ideal frame is 33, but there's other good frames as well. So this is the bathroom, where you obviously walk out. And this is the out here area, right? Cutscenes, most cutscenes don't affect IGT, which is what we use. We use in game time. There's a lot to explain. There's a lot to explain. So this is 2D movement. So you might not be familiar with it if you don't speedrun, because it's kind of buried in the options, and most people just play tank. But essentially, you can do stuff like this. You have a lot more movements. That's also why we play controller, because doing this on the keyboard isn't really you don't get as much, like, you're limited a lot more with the keyboard. Whereas with the controller, you have to do a lot more finer angles and be more precise. But it is camera relative, meaning that it changes based on where the camera is, basically. So notice how camera is sort of up in the left. So if I push up on the stick, it's going to kind of veer a little bit to the left, right? That's just sort of how it works. Whereas tank controls, sort of the back of James is the reference you use for any room, or the back of your character, and you can sort of use tank like that. So like if I went into this room, right would still be right, but with 2D you have to hold down, because that's how he is with the camera. Here you know, that's just sort of how that's just how it is. So that's probably the biggest learning curve, is just learning 2D. But anyways, you walk out of the bathroom, which normally you don't spawn there, normally you'd spawn up here, and you have this car, right? So that is the optimal way to do it, where you just walk up and sort of what I describe as like kissing the vehicle, right? But it's a bit of timing that goes into that. The easy way is just walk up, press it, boom, and you're using the quicksave function, which is exclusive to this PC version, I believe. You can do debug save in like console, but that's kind of like a different. That's a whole other video right there. But yes, this is the main thing we do in the run, as we quick save a lot because it has a lot of benefits, right? One of them being text. And what I did the first time was I took advantage of the delay. So notice how if I press quick game save, the quick save button, which for me is left bumper, notice how there's like a bit of a delay between when I press the button and when it shows up on the screen, right? And you can use this delay to your advantage. So if you want to be most optimal during this first section, you would just walk up to it, time it, grab the text, and then leave, right? Rather than walking up, waiting for a quick save to pop up and then going, right? So you save a bit of time doing that. That's essentially what I'm getting at here, though. But grab this text, and you don't need to mash quick save, but you need to hold it. So you can skip the map and just go down here and drop the text. Most of the time you'll be right through. Sometimes it'll glitch out. Here we use the camera switch button, the flip, which is the search view button in the game controls. This trail you want to quick save because every time you quick save it resets James' stamina, so you can pretty much run infinitely by hitting quick save. You don't have to really mash it though. You have about a 10-second window of not having to press it before he runs out of stamina, so yeah, there's a sort of a specific route you have to run on this trail to be optimal, but it doesn't really matter early on. Early on, you just want to focus on movement. You just want to focus on the route, just knowing what the route is and knowing where to go. That's like the first step. You walk up here, you go through this gate. Optimally, you can get that done in about 54, high 54, but that's pretty difficult to do early on. You just have to. I think when I started, I was getting like 59 gates, which is fine. But anyways, yeah. And anytime you're outside, you want to press game save a lot, basically. And up here is sort of a skip. I'm going to make a save here if I don't get the first try, so I can show it off. You can see the other time I attempted to record this video there. So yeah, essentially, if you walk up here, you get Angela's cutscene, and there's going to be a fade that occurs. And if you pause on the right frame, I don't actually know if it's a frame, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's frame perfect, but it feels like it is, so why not say it is. You can skip that fade, and it saves about a second. This is called Angela skip. So let's see if we get it here. It's better to not quick save here. We did not get that. That was terrible timing. Let's try it 3 times. It's fairly obvious when you get it, but it's better not to quick save walking up here because you can add more inputs if you want to frame buffer it. Nope. I'll try it 2 more times if I don't get it. It's relatively inconsistent, but you know, it feels good to get. And you can get, you know, it's free time save, so it's always good to go for it. It's not hard. You just do it. I'll try it 1 more time. One more. Come on, game. Just give it to me. Give it to me for the video. Give it to me for the video. No. There it is. Okay. So there it is. That's what it looks like. You skip the fade, and you gain a second. And, yeah. You can watch the cutscene, though. The cutscene doesn't matter at all. Yeah, you just want to take optimal lines to this first segment, basically. I just call it the walk. Silent Hill, essentially. This chainsaw you pick up, this is a difference from Punchy's video. It's allowed because in the PC version, that was a quick grab. It's allowed because in the PC version on beginner difficulty, it spawns there no matter what, even if it's a fresh install. So it's allowed to pick up the chainsaw, even though it's a new game plus item. But as you can see, when I picked up the chainsaw, there was a fast grab, which meant I was angled correctly. But there's also the slow grab where James sort of freezes for a second. I'm not exactly sure what causes the fast grab, but it's sort of based off the angle you pick up the chainsaw, I think. But yeah, you pretty much just want to try to take as the best optimal lines to this starting segment, as optimal as you can get it to be anyways. Pretty hard to be perfectly consistent, but, you know, don't quick save through this loading zone. You will fuck up the text right here. You grab this text on the gate after going through this, because we're going to use this to skip a trigger later. So you just hold on to that text. Camera flip here if you want. It's usually easier, and you can just sort of flick up to reset the stick. But yeah. And another thing, this game likes to really lag a lot during this section, and it is not uncommon for the game to force drop the text, and you can't do anything about it. And there's no text to pick up around, so just reset if that happens. But yeah, you're pretty much just strolling through with holding the text. And you don't have to like hard mash it. Like you can see, I'm not really like hardcore mashing it or anything. I'm just sort of tapping it at a relatively leisurely pace. This line is also not optimal at all. I'm kind of just like YOLOing it. But yeah, I'm just sort of showing the general route you take. So you pretty much just go straight here, and you're going to be able to walk straight past the blood on the thing where you normally have to go pick up the plank, because you have the text, which sort of just stops all those triggers from happening. Yeah, boom, walk straight past it. You're free to drop it around that stain on the floor. Try to take this turn as sharp as possible without bonking on the wall. But yeah, while we're walking, let me think of what other things I need to talk about here. I think really it's just the movement. Just early on, you know, don't be afraid to watch other people's runs and really study them and figure out what they're doing. I would recommend watching Super Gamers run, obviously Punchy, Aaron, any of your anybody that has a similar time than you, watch their run. Ecdysis, people like that, just like watch their runs, watch their tutorial videos, and just sort of absorb all that information. Because a lot of this game is info, right? It's not. Let's be real. I mean, Silent Hill. There's not like intense skill involved. You know, it's a skill-based game, but it's it's more so about, I think, knowledge. You know, you have to know the lines, you have to know the route, you have to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? The movement, once you learn it, it's fairly easy to be consistent with it. You just have to practice it a lot. When I picked up that key, it still spawns in, it just isn't there. You can get a fast grab, which I got a really fast grab actually, or a slow grab. It's sort of similar to the chainsaw. But anyways, walk down here to the apartments, and if you hug this wall a bit, you can sort of get a fast gate. Wiggle the text, that was not a fast gate, but you get the idea. Walk up here, this is where I split normally, and you're in the apartments. Sort of try to cut these as sharp as you can. Holding it straight right here. You can hug the wall like this at a diagonal angle to try to get a faster lean in on doors. Sometimes it works, sometimes you sack time. Try to cut that as soon as possible, go down, sort of hold that direction, exit to the door. Hold a strong left right there. I usually turn off my light, just because there's no real reasoning for it. That enemy can block you though, really hard. Alright, so you have to go down, sort of hold the left early, down a little bit, flick hard right. That was way too early, but based on where the camera is, you flick a hard right there. Hard right. Sort of an upright. You can sort of lean on this door a bit if you want. It doesn't really matter. That was slow, but up here, hug this wall a bit, then grab it. It's more consistent that way. Okay, here's another important thing. Wiggle your stick when you're doing this. Walk up to here, mash, wiggle a bit. The lag kind of screwed that up, but if you wiggle the stick on white text like that, it will skip the text very quickly. Right, and there'll be other places I can demonstrate this. Alright, walk up this corner, quick save. You have here. Now this is where the walk button comes in handy, right? So you're soft locked, right? You cannot open this door, right? Because we quick save during an animation, right? Pyramid Head's up here, just kind of chilling. This same event where you get soft lock can occur when you're doing the bend down animation to pick up an item. And you want to avoid that. This is pretty much the only section in this particular bout that you want to do this in, because you can easily get out of it, and it saves a couple seconds. And there's two ways to do it. You can either pull your gun out and aim in, which I'm not going to do because I don't like doing it that way, but that is a way to do it. Or you can do it the way I do it, which is where I walk up to this door, right, and I hold the walk button, and then you sort of mash. As you can see, your Pyramid Head turned red. That means that you're good. No longer soft lock, but and you sort of walk. I hold the button, stop as early as I can, and mash it. Right. I used to use my mouth during that section to move the stick and then like use the keyboard, but it's just inoptimal. All right. So this room, essentially, what you're going to do here, you want to hug this wall for a bit, sort of go on the right, more on the right side, and then swoop in and grab that key. Hit the doors on the corners. Right. Notice how I hit the door on the corner right there. You're saving frames by doing that. So you go down, take a hard left, into this door. Try to swoop on this door and wiggle the stick to attempt to get a fast text skip. Like that. Go down. I like to hold camera shift, you don't have to. Like, that was sloppy, let me redo that. So I can demonstrate what a good version of that room looks like. You can click it very early though. Right, that was also really bad. Like, you can click this right about here. Right, you can get very, like, and you can save a few frames. Be sure to skip that cutscene very quickly as it counts towards IGT. Take a hard right up here. Take a hard right again. Yeah, we're rolling. So up here's the clock. This is where the first major RNG point is, and you can tell what your seed is based on what this clock is. Then you go down, sort of hit it at an angle a bit, sort of lean up like that. Activate. This is now. Let me explain the inventory, right? So, let's say I had my inventory mapped on the same side as, which I do. I have two buttons for it, but you don't want to only have just the back button because it's ineffective. So let me demonstrate what that looks like here. So I walked up, tried to do that, and notice how I have to like lean off of the stick to press the back button, right? Like that. Like I have to do that. You can try to fix it and not have to do that, but it's very uncomfortable. And this will cause you to like try to walk up, like let's say this wall was the thing I had used inventory on, right? If I tried to walk up to that, you know, I'd flick over to the side, potentially, which could fuck up the movement like that because it moves between frames and it'll screw you over. That's why it's better to have the inventory button on an offhand, so you can just hold the button, press it without having to shift the stick in a certain direction. I'm just going to go over all the inventory tech right now. The pistol, if any situation that you don't need anything else, you want the pistol out. Here it's irrelevant because you don't have a weapon, so it'll just default there anyways. But now if you pulled the weapon out earlier to get out of the soft lock, there's some other things that come up later that I'll explain when we get there. But yeah, and you always want to go to the left, right? Because all the key items sort of merge on this left side. So you always want to go to the left. There's pretty much no reason to ever go to the right. You can, but it will be slow. You will lose a lot of time over the run because more items will stack, right? And you can always want to get to the last item. You hold the hard left. So yeah, let's just go over that like all in one as if this was a real run. So you go down here, you sort of hold the angle a little bit. Boom, flip up, boom, do that. You slide over. Normally I'd be on the pistol. Boom, activate the key. Whatever, see what frame you have. This is actually great for the tutorial. Great, okay, so this is the best seed. This is frame 33, right, 956. So this is the seed that you want. This is what it looks like. It's based off the time. So hopefully you know how to read an analog clock. Though you don't really have to. You can, after playing for a while, you will be able to instantly look at it and just know what frame it is. Like I knew this is 33, which is great for this video. So yeah, basically the answer is always going to be 910. 9, 2. Small hand on 9, big hand on 2. And that is the closest to that. It's also just a good frame. So up here, wiggle the stick, skip the text. Boom, you can get through this. And yeah, hold down right, sort of, flick. It's hard to explain 2D movement, so I'll try it here. Hold the hard left there, up. Sort of flick down, up again. That was bad, but you know. Click the camera flick button once. Turn off your light if you want to. Doesn't really matter. That guy's fairly out of the way. You can click that door fairly early. Hold sort of an up. Click. Out. Give him that key. Go down. You're going to hold the hard left here. Boom. Mash. Pick up. Let go. Mash again. Hold down. Hold this left side. Press the button once. You're flipped. And then you go through this door. Again, you want to try to cut these as early as possible. The camera's gonna miss you here, so you just sort of have to learn how to do this. Go up. Stairs can be kind of annoying at first. Same thing as earlier, mash. Boom. Like that. You can't use wiggle strats on pickups like that. It doesn't work. Text. Sort of hold down here a bit. You don't have to be too much to the side. You can wiggle that text, but it's hard. Hold up left. That is what we call a random angle door. However, I know the angle, so I know it's up left, and he'll go in the right direction. If you were to hold straight down, though, like you would think you'd have to do, it doesn't work. He'll flail all over the place. You can wiggle the stick like that to mitigate a random angle door. Punchy explained that in this tutorial, though. Alright, here's a difficult room. I'm going to do it once proper. Boom, you do that. You'd activate the juice box. That's the fast way to do it. It looks harder than that, right? That's the wrong way to phrase that. It looks easier than it is. So early on, this room was kind of a struggle for me, and this is a bit slower, but it is good for beginners, I think. If you go through this door, notice this little brown speck on the wall next to the wooden panel, the wood plank, sort of standing right in front of it. Use that as a visual reference, and you want to basically tick yourself off of that as like like that, and you go down, and you're usually on angle. Sort of similar to how, like in pool, you're bouncing it off the wall or whatever. Sort of envision it that way, right? And it's usually consistent, right? You do this, boom, to go down, you're there, right? Now the fast way to do it is just to, you already know, and you just kind of do it. It's kind of hard to explain. You just hold hard right, basically, and then flick down, and then, yeah, activate the juice box. Go down, sort of hold it right, flick, flick, flick. I personally do eddy first, and then the dust shoot. Yeah, you can do the other way though. It doesn't really matter. I don't think one is particularly faster. It's just the way I do it. That was really bad demonstration. That demonstrates to one of the annoying things about beginner difficulty, though, is that you can get auto aim like that, and that can screw you over. Normally, you just want to walk up, pick up the item, and leave, but sometimes the game will auto aim. That's annoying. That was not how you wanted to do that. I cut that really hard. Hold left, up, right. You do that part. You don't have to quick save out here, by the way, because the game doesn't classify this as outdoors for running. Hold it hard right. Watch out for this guy not to auto aim. I auto aimed. Great for the tutorial. Normally, you just want to lean into the door a little bit more to avoid that. Skip this cutscene or watch it. It's irrelevant. Go over here. Hold it hard right. Go up. That was whatever. Hold it hard right. These walls will clip you more than you think, so just be aware of that. You don't want to be too tight on those. Go down. Now we're gonna do dust shoot. You can do the other way around too. It's whatever. This is random angle. It's random if it's random though. Like sometimes it won't be random angle. Sometimes it'll just work. So I always wiggle the stick in a down right direction here. I believe the proper way to do it though is like an up or left, but it's inconsistent. So whatever. This part is a bit technical. Okay, so basically, to explain this, when you walk up to this, the game is going, and you press action, it's going to fade in a CG where you pick up the item, right? Now, during this fade in, you can quick save and you can move. So you can basically take 2 steps back, right? And after about 2 steps, you can leave again. And you can also do this on the fade out as well. So to get 2 steps back every time, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start quick saving first. Normally this is a sin, right? Normally you don't do this because it'll cause soft locks, but here it's fine. So come out of this door, start quick saving. Go down here, mash, get it, hold back, you'll get 2 steps. Mash, wait until this. So you skip the text, wait about 2 steps, go back up. That was a lot to explain there, but that's sort of the way to do that part, right? And that was a quick way of explaining it, but trust me, you'll figure it out when you get there. It looks like a complicated thing, but it's not really that complicated. Wiggle the stick on this door to skip the text. That was kind of a fail, but idiot. Hold down left here, just trust it works. Boom. Again, because that room is a random angle room, so yeah. So kind of right here, boom. This part can be confusing early on. I remember I struggled on this a bit when I was learning, but right here, it's a lot of different right and lefts and all that, so it's kind of confusing. Right on here, talk to Angela, mash A, or whatever your action button is, pick up the thing, leave, top left, boom, hold it hard right here, boom, go down. You can flick really early, by the way. Don't be afraid to flick early on here. Like, notice how I was really off. Well, it looked like I was off, but I'm actually right on. So this is the order. Pause the game during the fades to save inventory, because you can do that and the fade goes away, and now I can access my inventory again, right? This one goes next to this one on the left. Boom, boom, boom. Save. What I like to do here is go to load game and pre-position the mouse in the right position. The next one, but this is unnecessary. I just do it because the way I play the game, it doesn't let me. I can't really move the mouse while doing inventory at the same time. But that would be the optimal way to do it. Watch Arithmic's run if you want to see the true optimal way of doing that part. But that's how I do it. Go up here. Hold the hard left, try to flick in to skip the text. Alright, here's the consistent way to do this room, okay? Hold down, camera shift, let go, up, wait, left, down, flick in the downward direction. Do that, up, wait, right, left, boom. Again, that was a lot, that is how you do that room. Mash 7 on the keyboard here, you'll see why. Go through this door, boom, you have the chainsaw out. I'll explain this in a second. Walk up, activate, boom, walk up to this corner. That's it. So what happened right there is each key, as you can see, I'll flip through, 7, 3. Pistol is 3, 4 is shotgun, 7 is the chainsaw. If you exit a room or enter a room, during that fade in, once you're in the new room, if you hit one of those keys, you will sort of buffer a weapon switch for the next room. And this is more optimal than doing like a hard switch and walking up to a door. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention, not right now, you wouldn't do this at this point, you'd already be screwed, but while we were waiting for Pyramid Head to do his thing, walk out of the room, and make sure you don't stand in front of him, by the way, he will kill you if you do that. But fun fact, this is the only thing in the game that can actually kill you on beginner difficulty, but it's not the point. Make sure when he's doing all that and you can't do anything to go to load game and set your mouse to be roughly here for the hospital, like roughly in this general zone. It'll sort of pre-aim it for you a little bit, so keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go down here. This can be kind of hard to get. You sort of wait a bit, go up, and yeah, I split there. Sort of wiggle down right. This is sort of inoptimal. I haven't learned the random angle for this yet, so there's an improvement you can have. Haven't figured that out yet, but just go straight up, talk to Laura. Yeah, not much to say there. This cutscene up here, this ticks IGT, so you have to skip it, unless you just don't care. It's more optimal to skip than the quick save through, because he teleports up, right? So you can also quick save through that cutscene, but I wouldn't recommend it. Skipping it is just better, and I believe it's faster. Take this turn. Watch out for this trash can if you're taking a really hard turn here, by the way. I have bonked directly into it, trying to be super tight. So you sort of have to put that trash can into account when taking that turn. I would say Rosewater is probably the most optimized section of the game, so yeah, other than the start, but yeah. Take up keys. You walk up here, take as hard of a corner here as you can. Go up. You always want to be shifting it slightly to the right to have the optimal line. You want to line it up so that you're like being this, like you want everything. You don't want to like do a hard shift like that, right? You want his movement to sort of sway in a direction where you don't have to do like any hard adjustments, like any intense like jerks to the left like that, because that loses you time. So here right now you want to shift a little bit to the left, but you don't want to like hardcore shift to the left. Right, this is where we sort of differentiate from Punchy's route a lot more as well. We skip the pipe because we don't need it because we have the chainsaw. You need the melee item to get out of the well later on in the game, and also the chainsaw is just powerful. So as you can see, this line sort of lines up with this door when we hit that corner.
I'll wait here. I hate bowling.
I love this cutscene. I let it play every time.
Here to play you.
Flick down right. Got this door. This part, I'm gonna go over this in a couple ways. I'm gonna make a save here so I can properly explain this part. Let him finish his spiel. Okay. So this part is, you can do this a lot of ways. I'm going to explain sort of the I'll do it once, like the hardcore way, and then I'll show off, and then I'll explain how to do it like if you're learning the game. So this is like the fast way to do it. Right, when you cut up like that. Basically you're cutting hard on this corner right here, right? That was a bit, I did a little too much right there. But you're sort of flicking up against it as well. There we go, that was good. And you're out, right? That is a bit complicated though if you're not familiar with the room. So I'll go over sort of the beginner way to do it. So you walk through the door, hold down, wait for the camera shift, right, and sort of lean in like that and flick up. That way is fairly reliable, and it works. So go down, wait for the camera shift, right, flick around like that. Right, but if you want to do it the more advanced way, go down, flick left hard, really quick, up, and then you sort of do it like that. So, yeah. No need the game save, I just did it there. Go through here, go through this room. Flick to the right, not to the left. It's counterintuitive, but it's faster. There we go. Make a hard cut right there. We're making it over to Heaven's Night. There's a bit of an optimization here that I'm going to have to explain. There's a thing called instant acceleration, that's what I call them, in certain rooms, where if you'll walk into the room, he'll usually freezes, but if you hit the room at a certain angle, he will not freeze. This is one of those rooms. Up here. Not this one, but the one entering Heaven's Night. So do this, hold down, hug this wall, boom. Try to hit this at an up left angle like that. Okay, that was actually bad, but Normally, if I got that correctly, he would instantly move. Notice how he froze for a second there. It might be kind of hard to see because this part of the video is kind of dark on YouTube. But if you pay attention, you'll notice he froze. What you want to do in this room is you want to hold up, which seems counterintuitive, and it is, but it works. And notice how he's instantly flicked in that direction, and you can just hold up basically and flick, hold down, right? This room is difficult early on. You can't really easily practice it either because if you walk out, it resets how it works. So when you instantly walk into this room for the first time, hold up. You'll do this, flick, hold down, and that camera shifts. Then probably turn sort of down right through that door. Hold the right here, sort of flick up, right, through that door, wiggle down, boom. You're out of Heaven's Night. Pick that corner as early as you can. And yeah, that's Heaven's Night broken down basically. It's a fairly difficult section, I would say. Not too hard, but you know, it's difficult enough. Go through here. We're now in the hospital. Go down. That was a bad example of getting screwed over at a random angle through this door. Up. Hit this as sort of a down right. You can sort of you can use you can try to skip that text with game save. You can also move back as well with game save to during the fades to exit the room quickly. You go up here through this door. The stairs are fairly complicated. I wiggle up in all of them. Hit that hitbox really hard. Turn your light off before this door. Go through here. Turn the light back on. Hold down right. Exit this. Skip the cutscene as fast as you can. Grab the shotgun. Leave. A lot of stuff happening quickly. Turn off the light. You'd always get this good angle if you do that. Cut through up here. This door. Do this. Go through this room. Hold sort of a mid right. Grab. Leave. You can get a faster grab than that if you're lucky. It's based on your angle. Up here. Cut to that door and get very aggressive with these cuts. You can get very. You don't have to be like actually near the door to activate it. Alright, this is why you reposition the mouse. Boom, activate this. And the mouse will already be where you want it to be. 7-3-3-5 every time. Go through. You use the mouse, by the way, because it's faster. Don't use the sticks. Go. You want to hold the left there, not down. I fucked that up. Hold the left. I'm doing that. Exit the room. Don't talk to Maria if possible, but it's kind of hard to do sometimes. Go up to the roof. Try to wiggle the stick to skip text if you can. Hold down. Count 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Flick. Turn around again. Okay. You can skip that cutscene. Whatever. You can also use it to watch what frame you're on if you don't have the codes memorized. So this is normally where you check the codes during that Pyramid Head cutscene, right? So, oh wow, was I stupid enough not to pre-open this for the video? Wait, hold on, I'm gonna pause for a second. I believe the code for 33 is 9747, and then it's... What's the next one? I'm testing my own memory here. Okay, I'm sorry, 857 something? I don't know. Hold on, let me pause the video and I'll check. Come on, game. Here's another problem, by the way. Topical problem. The game does not let you alt-tab all the time. This is very annoying. You can circumvent this by using Control-Shift-Escape to open Task Manager, and that usually lets your mouse free. Okay, so there's some tech for you right there. Okay, so I've pulled up the chart, which you can get on speedrun.com. It lists all the first 100 frames of the RNG table. And we got, say, seed 33 here, which is the most optimal seed. The most annoying aspect of 33 is the hospital codes. They're kind of annoying to type in, but other than that, it's the best seed to get. Yeah, so the code is 7851 for the blood, and then 747. Now let's say you were in a situation where you needed the codes, right? So the blood room is in here, and you can get the code right here, which as you can see, it is in fact 7851. It can be kind of hard to read the blood code, so keep that in mind, and I'll show where the carbon code is as well if you need it. Wiggle that stick to get out of that room. So I'm going to break the route a little bit. Don't follow what I'm doing. I'm just showing this off for the sake of showing it if you need the codes. Because sometimes you will get screwed over, and you just want to know what frame it was so you can check. Go through this door, and this little guy up here will tell you the carbon code, which for us was 747, right? Which we already knew, but sometimes you're going to need to check that anyways. It'll happen. But ignore all of that. I'm gonna act like I didn't do any of that. And I'll go back to where we started here. Okay, so pretend we're just after the pyramid head cutscene now. So you flick the stick to skip the text there, go down, up here. That was way too aggressive, but it worked. Not really. Turn off your light for more optimal enemies. It's rare, but the nurse here can really badly screw you over. You can turn your light on there. Mash inventory. Boom. Combine items. Always combine items. Okay, move your mouse a little bit left, or you should already be moving your mouse, right? So that was kind of sloppy, but basically just type in the code, right? 7851. And then, what is it? 9747. So that was, like, obviously that was slow, right? But you can get really fast typing in those codes. And if you soon, once you know what the frame is, I haven't actually done this yet, but you could probably just memorize how many times you have to move the blood, because blood code, for every frame, the numbers are in the same position. So that's sort of a important thing to be aware of. But yeah, do this, wait for this to go, wait for the green text, quick save, exit out of the room by holding sort of a upper right-ish, middle upper right. Turn your light off here if you want to, I don't. Mash the inventory button. You have a fade that you can't really like use the inventory button on. Skip this cutscene. It cuts IGT. Turn off your light here for sure though. Turn it back on to the elevator. Hold sort of an upright. We're gonna do an elevator skip. Hold up. Click. Quick save. Quick load. You always have to click the elevator, right? That's the important aspect of it. And the time to where you load doesn't matter. Notice how the load didn't do. Sometimes the load doesn't activate. You have to press F9 afterwards, or whatever your load button is. Or maybe it did activate. I just was fast. I don't know. Not the point. Go over here. This one I don't bother to pre-up. I just flick right there. Switch the weapon. This reminds me, I did not explain at the pool.
Wait!
In the start of the game, in the apartments at the pool, I'd switched my weapon when falling down to skip an animation. I did not explain that, but Punchy did, so it's all good. All right, kill these guys. Takes one shot. The last guy can screw you over with a bad animation on his death that wastes, I don't know, it can waste a lot of time. So it's RNG. Let's see, did I get the bad animation? No, that's a good animation. He dies quickly. If you get the bad animation, there's nothing you can really do about it. Go down here. Go through here. Hard left. Up right. Use the mouse. Up. Click. Quick save. Quick load. Very important that you do not click any other buttons than the ones that you're supposed to click on the elevator for this when you're doing the skips. Go to the right, boom, mash, boom, leave, bam 3, switch to the pistol. It's optimal to have the pistol out for all inventory, which we'll need to do. Boom, hold up. Don't quick save, quick load this one because it'll soft lock the game on 3rd floor, so don't do it. It automatically teleports you. Why? I don't know, but it does. Go through here, flick to the right a little bit, go through here, hold sort of an upright, flick, down, flick. You only have to flick on the downs. Like if you're going down, flick on downs. If you're going up, flick on ups. Boom, do that. Hold sort of an upright. Wiggle with the stick if you can. Boom. Go through here. You can do this. Hold down, left, mash. Ha! Alright, game. Fuck out of that. Hold on. And then again, hold down, left, and mash. Dude, come on. This is normally consistent 100% of the time. Okay. Hold down, left, and mash. Thank you. Hold middle, right. That's too little too much of the up light, but you get the idea. You can get that very consistently. That was like super sloppy, but whatever. Cut a hard right and going up here. Boom, up. Hard right. Up. Up. You have to go up a little bit more for that door. Boom, go through there. Hold camera shift. Let go of camera shift. Turn off your light if you want to for this nurse. Hold up right. Go down to floor 2. Quick save, quick load. Turn off your light. Go up. These guys will do the same thing every time if you do this correctly. Light on. Go down. Cut through here. Boom. Skip that cutscene. It takes IGT. Hold down. Light off. Hold left. Go to the middle. Go to the side. That was... The enemies were in the exact spot, but you get the idea. Boom, quick save, quick load this one because it doesn't matter. It soft locks the game because we don't go back in the elevator and mash the inventory button. Hold sort of a right and mash inventory. Boom, bam, boom, bam. If I had the shotgun out, I would have had to move another space to the left. I had the pistol, so I didn't have to. Mash. Just keep mashing. Go through the door. Hold sort of a down right. Get past her. It's a bit hard. Hold hard down for that angle. Boom. 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 Flick. Alright, that's how you do it. Mash. Go in. Hold down. Left. Right, sorry. Flick to the right here. Flick to the right. Flick to the right. Flick to the right. Flick to the down left. Flick to the right. Flick to the right. And then you're good. A lot of flicking going on there. You hold down. Go through here. You can let these play out. Doesn't count IGT. Boom. Up right. Hold an up right angle. Go to the door. Mash. Hold down left. Mash. Attempt a quick save. Skip this text. The quick save skip timings in the hospital are rather difficult. They're not as easy as the one in the dust chute. I'm not even 100% sure what the timings are for the hospital, to be honest with you. It's kind of random if you get the skips on the text or not. But always go for it, because you never know. Okay, go ahead and mash. Hold sort of a back left. Flick it through top bottom, top right. Boom, boom, boom. Go through here. Flick. Split. Hold the skip button, because if you hold it, it'll do the frame. Right, and you have to skip that cutscene. It'll count IGT. You turn off your light here if you want to get more optimal enemies. Whatever. You're holding a pretty strict line during this part. Going up, flick. It's if you know Born from a Wish, you're doing a similar line, but not the same, obviously. But honestly, yeah, my lines are kind of sloppy during this part, to be real with you. I don't have it like perfected or anything, but just the idea. Like I said, you don't want to do any hard juts to the right or the left like that. You want it to be sort of a flow motion, right? He just all goes in that direction. He's still primarily going straight, but he sort of leaned a little bit to the right, right? So that wasn't aggressive enough. I should have been doing that slightly more aggressively to line up with that. Go to this, sort of try to make a line to avoid that car in the center. Go up here. It's important you have your light on up for this section. You need it. Hold down, camera shift, quick save over here. It's important you quick save more aggressively during this part because when your health is on that screen, you will lose stamina faster, so you have to quick save a little bit more aggressively. Alright, flick text, do the wiggle text strat up here, where you wiggle text. And that was I keep my example here. Turn off the light, boom. Okay, that was perfect for the tutorial, well. Applause for me, I guess, but that is the perfect way to do that. I'm gonna let it go because I need to show the bad way to do it, or it's not a bad way. Trust me, you're not gonna get what I just got most of the time because doing that is difficult, right? But this is what's normally gonna happen. So you're gonna basically I'm trying to like figure out where to even start to explain this. So at the beginning of the game, when we skip that trigger, it's still there basically, even though it's nighttime. Right, even though the map is different looking, it is the same. So that trigger is still there, so you need to activate the text, which you have mobile text basically by not having a map. Well, it doesn't matter if you have a map or not actually, but this area is too dark with the light off, right? So it'll pop that text up and you can activate text. Now what I did earlier is I believe, frame perfect. If you time it correctly, it's like the fade, right? I mentioned in the beginning of this tutorial, the fade, right? You can get it to where he still runs while doing that, but you're not going to get that most of the time. I'll tell you that right now. What usually is going to happen is you're going to try to do that, and he'll stop, and he'll go. That's just normal. It sort of is what it is. But yeah, the way I did it when walking in is like the perfect way to do it, where he doesn't stop moving. But it's very difficult to do that consistently. The way I try to do it is I just try to time it so that the game save and the text pop up at the same time, which is sort of taking advantage of that delay. But you cut up here, drop it, turn on the right. This is where having the lens flare helps out a lot, because notice where I can still see where James is. Right, now let's say if I took off lens flare, just sort of as a demonstration as to why I think it's important to have it on. Where is it even? Okay, I'm being stupid right now. Go to advanced. for a long game. Advanced options. Okay, and if I turn the lens flare off, it's not gonna. You have to unpause and pause the game to see it. All right, notice how he's now like not. There's that frame. That lens flare is no longer there, and it makes it a bit more harder to see him. So it's good to have it on, basically. I don't know why it moves down like that. I didn't even do input, but whatever. Let me break this section down a little bit now. So this is kind of basically the goal here is to pick up a wrench, right? So normally you'd have that weird angle we had, so you have to like hold button switch, quicksave, and cut up really aggressively. What you want to do here is this is why the lens flare is helpful. You can see yourself doing this part very easily. So when you're walking in this part, flick your light on, quick saving, hold camera shift, go up. You want to cut this as hard as you can so that you're sort of going up at this angle. Now, if I picked up the wrench up here, what would happen is he would bend down to pick up the wrench, which is slow. If you picked up the wrench from about this middle part of the staircase, he won't do that animation, right? You want to avoid this letter at all costs over here because it will sack you time. So here's sort of the fast way to do this, right? You know, your game saving, holding camera shift, boom, switch. Okay, come on, me. I gotta show the fast strats. Okay, go up here. I cut in. Oh my god. Okay, this is kind of embarrassing. Okay, it's because the angle is not usually the same. That's why it's throwing me off. Okay, boom, go up here, mash, boom, leave. That's the fast way to do it. Now, obviously, if you're learning, that's not really the fast way. The fast way is you cut up here and do it, but who cares? Okay, or semantics. Alright, you get the idea. Obviously, if you're learning the game, just walk up to it, pick it up about here, and leave. You don't have to try hard at the super fast way of doing it, but that is. And then when you leave, turn off the light, attempt to get the fast text, but it's not always possible, and then leave. And you can drop it at about that that dirt spot if you want to, but I like just leaving it because it despawns enemies and makes it easier to get good blinds. So yeah. Go up here. Cut through these trees if possible. That was a bad. Cut through that tree if you can. Always watch other people's runs to see what the best way to do things are. It's like the #1 advice I can give. Just study other people's runs. They'll pick up on stuff very quickly by doing that. But you're just doing this line. Watch out for those cars. Notice that the cars are despawned. Those little things in the door. Drop the text. Don't quick save during this door. You will ruin your game. Go up here. You can have your light on at this point. It's irrelevant. And yeah, avoid those guys. Run up here. Try to cut that down as much as you can to get a good line here. You want to hold camera shift and hold up. That's where he'll smooth out. That's one movement tip. If you hold camera shift during camera transitions, he won't adjust to the next camera, and you can use that to be a bit more consistent in certain rooms. Sort of flick there. Just hold up here. Don't even bother switching. Right. Go in. Pause very quickly and skip the text at the same time. And I have escape pause mapped all to this right trigger, by the way, so it can all happen seamlessly. Press escape, or not escape, press your inventory button. When a fade comes in, hold up and quick save. Don't do that too early, you will soft lock your game. Wait for the fade. Hold top left, and you'll have a good angle every time, like that. It's important you quick save. And when you're going into that statue, make sure that you do not quick save before the fade, because you will ruin your run and you will soft lock the game. You might not be able to pick up the item, and you're fucked. You are fucked at that point. Also, health is completely irrelevant on beginner. You cannot die unless you die to Pyramid Head at the apartments. So, yeah, there's probably other places you could die too, but none of them are relevant in the run. Like, maybe you could die. I wonder if you could die to Pyramid Head in the labyrinth. but I don't think you can. I don't know, but just you can't really die on beginner. That's not like a meme. That's not because oh beginner's so easy. Like you literally cannot die. Like the game can't kill you unless it's Pyramid Head in the apartments, from my understanding, anyways. But that's beside the point. Another large advice I could give. Also watch out for those cars, by the way. I didn't really explain that. Those cars will screw up your line. You can turn off your light if you think the enemies are annoying. You know, like I said, it's very important to go back and watch other people's runs and study what they did. Bigmanjapan on his YouTube channel has lots of different old clips of showing off just obscure things. I split there. That was a terrible line. You don't want to do that. This is a random angle. I split there and try to wiggle so you avoid, but I just did right there. But yeah, you get up here, get aggressively up. So we're going to hold it down right. Yeah, this is a really long staircase. You can't do anything about it. You just walk. You're going to want to prime a chainsaw shift, not at this door, but the next door. And remember, you just mash 7 on the keyboard when entering a room. And don't just watch their PBs, like watch their older runs too. There's a lot of information in those older videos. That's very good advice I would give. Like just look, like go on speedrun.com, filter it by obsolete being shown, and you can just watch all the old runs of like all the top guys and just pick up a lot of info. I kind of recommend doing that. Alright, so you want to prime it on this door. So mash 7, down, hold it down right to get a good angle there. You'll be primed for the chainsaw. Walk, hold down right, instantly start mashing. Get the text, hold it down, hold like a left. Boom. You get it every time. Hold up and mash during this fade. Alright, down left, weapon switch. To get rid of that. Similar thing we did in the pool that I didn't explain properly, so I apologize. Hold sort of a down left, a small down left. Alright, bug skip. Go down, pick it up, green text, quick save, quick load. You skip the bug room, duplicates the key. Go up, you have the key still in your inventory, activate, boom. Bug room skipped. Go down here, hold it down right. Flip the camera back, pick it up, leave, turn the camera off. This is a camera manipulation for prison. Turn the camera off, or not the camera off, turn the flashlight off, whatever. Go up here, boom, turn right. Oh, that was way too early, that's my fault. Turn light on, pick it up, turn light off, left, hug, down. I was too slow, so I got a bad angle there. You can flick on these doors really aggressively. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, you can flick on that door. Go up here, turn the light on. Is this one? No, this, wait, no, this is the one. Completely ignore everything I just did right there. You do go through this door, you go up, go through here, this last one right here, so it's like the last one. Pick that up. That pickup is very annoying, by the way, and I don't really have advice for you to get better at it. You just have to do it over and over again. Also, turn off your light way before that. I completely forgot about the light manipulation. Pretend I had my light off. Turn your light on again, go to this door, hold it down right, mash, pick it up, wiggle the stick aggressively to get a fat. That was not a good example of that, but watch Aaron's run for a good example of wiggling the stick there and getting a good text skip. Not the point. Turn the light off, hold sort of down. This is a good angle anyways, go through this door. Turn it on again. Inventory, boom. That's good, hold down. Quick save during that, by the way, the move. Hold down, let's hold down left. We'll get a good angle every time. Turn off your lights here. No, it doesn't really matter. This guy rarely ever blocks you. And the light is good. You can leave the light on for the rest of the time. And you're good for this prison. Hold sort of an up left. Hold down. Hold a hard right here, or hard left I meant. Hold sort of a down left. Through that door. Go up, left, kinda, shift into straight up. Boom, inventory, boom, boom, boom. Always combine items in the inventory. One thing I didn't mention is when you open the inventory, which I'll explain after this actually. I'll explain it in the elevator. You hold down, shift it to the down left, hold it down left, shift it to down, hold it up right, sort of wiggle the stick to get that text. That was a weird dialogue, that was a weird audio. Boom, whatever. Go through here. Don't do the thing where you quicksave because you won't get instant acceleration. So just go through that door normally. Don't do the thing Punchy said where you set the quicksave there. It loses time. Okay, so pick up the health if you want. You don't have to, but I do. Whatever, just use it. I use H on the keyboard. Shotgun shells, that's all you need. Reload the shotgun. You don't have to reload the shotgun though. Beginner auto reloads for you, but who cares? Everything else here, don't pick up, it wastes inventory space, so you don't need it. Let me explain inventory. So notice how if I open the inventory and instantly go to the left, it doesn't move instantly, right? You sort of have to time it a little bit to get it to like be a smooth moving. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's just sort of, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah. Basically what I'm saying is like kind of a delay. So if you like open it and hold left, it's not going to go for a second, right? But you can sometimes not get a delay if you time it. I don't know. I barely understand it myself, to be honest with you, but it works. When you're in this elevator, load game, set up the mouse so that's about here for the Lakeview Hotel. Because you'll need to use your mouse there again, and it limits having to waste time aiming. If you have this elevator, you can just chill. Don't really do much here, really. Check Twitter or something, I don't know. Push this door. Turn your light off, hold up, switch. You don't want to cut these corners very aggressively. This guy can give you good or bad RNG. I think he gave me good RNG. You can get a good line. If you got a bad RNG, which is normal, just go around him, but I think this is good. Yeah, I got the good line, but that's uncommon. Just go around him normally. Keep light off here. Go up. It's very important you try to cut these corners. Okay, here, light on. Cube, hold down, sort of a left, boom, flick onto it. I turned my light off on accident, that was my fault. So, down, left, down. We get bottom green. Right, so all you have to do 2 movements. Down, left, down, and you're good. You can also do bottom yellow if you want to, but it's not necessary. Either way works, doesn't really matter. But I like doing it that way, this is how I do it. Do this part, hold it for half, let go to the left, pick up the wire, try to pick up the wire. That was a terrible, man, of all the things I failed the wire. Okay. This wire can be annoying, okay? It can be annoying, because you can't see it really. But do that again, wait until it's half, let go. That was fun. Go for the wire. Oh man. Oh man, this is great, isn't it? Okay. Try it one more time. I'm going too much to the right, basically, is what's happening here. More left. There we go. Pick up the wire. Leave. You can do that very quickly if you do it correctly. That was just a complete fail. But, yeah. That guy can give you bad RNG or good RNG. That was pretty bad RNG. Flick. That was way too early. You can flick left really aggressively there, though. Turn your light off during this. Turn it on because you need it in your wire cutters. Don't be too early on this. This is why it's very... Right there. Perfectly shows what I was talking about. I should have had the pistol out in the elevator. I would have been able to flick once and do it, but I was in the shotgun, so I had to flick over twice. Right, this is why it's helpful to have inventory button on your offhand, because you don't have to worry about flicking off to the side or whatever. Turn your light off, cut to this guy. Normally he's easier than that, but he's kind of a bitch that time. Go up here. Hold down, go sort of down right. Have your light on here. There's 2 ways you can do this part. You can either shoot the guy once and let him crawl away, which is personally for me very, very... It doesn't save enough time to be worth it, right? It's very inconsistent. So if you're on a good pace, just do the safe strat, which I'm going to show. Which is if you shoot him once, shoot him twice when he's down on the ground. Like that. It'll get past him every time. If you want to be ballsy, you can shoot him once, and he'll sometimes just leave. But I'll tell you right now, it's not consistent. Try to cut these corners very early. You can cut them very early. Turn your light off. You don't need the light on for the rest of the labyrinth. You're gonna need it off later, so just turn it off now. Sort of flick up early there. Hold that down. Always go on this guy's right side, never his left. It's easier to get past him on the right side. cut this elevator, hit that hitbox in a corner. Turn corner here to get a good hitbox. Turn your light off. Hold the right and mash. We're gonna skip Abstract Daddy. Same thing as we did earlier. Activate the text with the 3 to read the map. Walk past him. Boom. Arsonist. So, look at your time sheet or your RNG sheet. Have your light on if you wanted to. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. 4 is the worst you can get because you have to walk all the way down. 1 is the best you can get. 2 is pretty much the same as 1. 3 is a little but whatever. 5 is bad. 4 is bad. 6 is okay. Anything 1, 2, like if you're going to record, 1 and 2 will work, I think. Yeah. So anyways, you walk in, you assume you have 1, activate this, leave, whatever. Take the right turn, up, boom, 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 down here, hold sort of down, pick it up instantly, walk out. Now this room's one of the harder rooms, okay, to do this quickly. If you do it slow, it's whatever, but doing it fast is hard. So, there's this room, there's this valve, and so you have to walk straight, sort of go diagonal left, hug right very aggressively, because you need to be facing the valve. I'll try to do it first try. Hard right, that was not good. I'm going to be off. Right, notice how I was off. Now with this hitbox, you have to be sort of facing the valve, like this. Right, you can't be facing the key. This would not work. Right, you have to face more towards the valve. There's a way to be more aggressive with your right turn. This is a difficult thing. This is hard. Okay, so you have to do this hard right, but not too hard. If that was too aggressive. You could always just say screw all this and just do a casual, walk up to it or whatever, but I'm just showing the fastest way to possibly to do it. And hard right. Again, that was bad. A little bit washed up. Not really. Okay, that's not going to work. That's too hard to the right, but you get the idea, okay? You flick on to it with a hard right, basically. There we go, that would have worked. And you do it. The hitboxes in this game can be very annoying, so keep that in mind. Hold sort of down right, then up, flick up. That's one thing with these cameras. You're going to do a lot of flicks to maintain a direction. But if you hold a direction, you won't deviate even if you switch angles, which is helpful. So we go boom. Left, go through here. We're in Eddie's fight. I personally don't pre-up a weapon because you can't really do it properly. Go through this door, hold down. And yeah, we're gonna fight Eddie. Takes 1 pistol shot and 1 shotgun shot. It's very easy. I'll show the strats way to do this. So make sure you sort of hold a straight line, hold down left, walk up to him, keep walking, boom. You should have, okay. Switch to your shotgun aggressively, quickly before entering that door. I have to do it there, but pretend this isn't happening. I'll try to record a tutorial, Eddie, okay? Don't gonna bust my balls like that, bro. Okay, let me talk about how you would have done that. So you did with the pistol is perfect. You would have switched to the shotgun before entering the room. Then you would have walked and shot him once, right? That was a really bad Eddie for beginner, but we're gonna ignore that. And just move on with our lives. So sort of flick in the upright direction. I'm gonna explain the boat. So the keyboard is the most optimal way to do the boat. Which is why you should not have analog controls on, because you can't really do the boat with the keyboard analog. So here's how you're gonna do the boat. So walk up to it, hold D, or hold the right arrow once, and hold upright. Then let go of upright. And then you should, that was a little bit of an overshoot. Way bit of an overshoot. But you get the idea. You hold D, wait until he does one rotation with the or, then hold WD or up and right at the same time, whatever. And wait for about a second or so, and then let go of D and just hold W. That was me holding W and D at the same time too much. So I went too much to the right. Right, you don't want to be this far to the right, so you have to readjust a little bit with using A or the left. But you can hit it at the sides. You don't have to be directly onto the light. And the fastest way to do the boat is to be slightly to the left of the light, actually. This will still work, though, what I'm doing, but it's going to be a little slow. But that's the best way. You'll get 55 every time if you do that correctly. I recommend going to N Dredges. If you go on speedrun.com, individual boat leaderboard, N Dredge has a really good boat time, and that's sort of like the ideal boat, you could say. So this pickup's annoying. Walk up to it. Try to align yourself with it the best you can to walk up and get an instant pickup like that, and then leave. That pickup is annoying now, I'll tell you that right now. Hold left here and wiggle if you need to, but left usually works. Up. Go through this door. Hold sort of a down right-ish sort of thing. That was not how you should do this. So let me demonstrate how you should do this room. Hold sort of a down right. Okay, it keeps giving me a bad angle, but whatever, that works. You'll figure out when you play. Don't move during this part. You'll get an instant acceleration by not moving. Boom, I can now instantly walk, so don't move there. Even though it's tempting, because you can mess around, but just don't. Alright, turn off your light, Lakeview skip. So let me just demonstrate this. So, boom. Alright, that's Lakeview skip done, right? Now, I say this right now, Lakeview skip is something that can be done very consistently once you know how to do it. It's not as hard as people say it is. So, one of the first things that will make this a lot easier for you is don't do the thing where you do where you kind of go all the way out here and try to like realign yourself with the thing. Just don't do that. Complete waste of time. That's like how most tutorials try to do it, and it's very inconsistent doing this, like jetting all the way to the right and then trying to like lean back in. A more consistent way to do it is, and make sure you do the thing where you activate your text, otherwise you will trigger the hitbox. Right, you want to go up, you want to turn on a dime and sort of flick like this so that you're sort of more aligned with the wall. Notice how I instantly walked down the wall, right? I didn't even fall over by doing this properly. So you sort of do this, boom, walking down the wall. Do this, boom. Not walking down the wall, but that's still perfectly aligned, right? You just align yourself with the wall early, right? And just watch how I'm doing it, right? I can do this very consistently. Boom, walking down. Boom, walking down. Boom. You get a walk and you're deep and you're good. You don't want to let off too high. I'm going to try to do that where I let off a little too high. Alright, so notice how I'm way too high up. If I were to take this, he would not be able to fall back into collision. So this would be too high. If you get this, just go down a little bit. And then, you go. So, I'll do this from the top, just to demonstrate again. So, quick save. Text. Do this. Up, left, down. Walk. I noticed I went a little too much to the left. That was perfect. I just walked off on accident. That's my fault. Do that again. Boom. Go up. Flick. Go down. Boom. It's a little too high up. Go down. Leave. Drop text. Turn on your light. Go in this sort of upright sort of direction. When the camera shifts, hold up, flat. Wait until you see the door. When you see the door, do down left sort of like that, wiggle. Have your light on so you can tell where you are. This is inoptimal, but boom, open switch, leave, mash 3 to get the pistol out. Boom, hold down, pistol is out. Optimal inventory, walk up to this door, sort of hold it down left. Right, that pickup can be annoying. Down left is sort of where you want to be. It's a specific area down left, but it's kind of hard to explain. Mash quick save through this door, even through the loading zone. Boom, back up, you get 2 steps out. You sort of want to hold left when doing that. Here, hold up, don't bother quick saving. Hold down right, hold down left. Right, down, turn your light off here, turn it back on, go through here, hold down left, pick this up. That was a little too much to the down left. Go through that door, you can get a very good angle on that. Cut, go through here, this guy will sometimes hit you, whatever. Hold down right here a little bit, inventory. Alright, this This Lakeview is the most annoying part of the game because there's lots of little things like this that will save you a lot of time. Will save you a few seconds, but lose you a lot if you fuck it up. This is a good example. This stupid ass can. Right, so if you walk up to it, you sort of hold down right, and you usually get it. Right, that was good. Right, but sometimes you don't. And it's super annoying. Super, super annoying. There's nothing you can do about it. Same up here. There's another one. You have to use the light bulb on the door, which is kind of ironic because you have fucking light, but whatever. That's off. It's just annoying, right? If you're trying to do it fast, this can get very annoying very quickly. But use that, wiggle, turn the light off, flick, sort of go wider than you think, wrap around. You can cut straight through, but it's risky. The enemy usually blocks you. Have your light back on. This one's a bit easier to do, this inventory right here. So go down, hold down, and sort of position yourself down right. And then you should have it. And yeah, wait for the pick up the key. Hold down, back left, wrap through the door. Hard to explain, but that's why the controller's there, so you can sort of visualize what I did. Don't hug this. Make sure you're aimed into the right, because you don't want to auto in. Hold down, left. This is why I set up the mouse earlier. You'll be set up where you need to be. So for frame 33, town is the text you're typing in. But for whatever seed you have, it can be anything like love, dark, over, all sorts of words. You'll see it based on your seed on the chart. So you go up here. All right, here's a little pro tip on this part. Wrap this wall and hug it so that you get a good angle, so that you can see a bit more where you're aiming. Cinderella on left first, Snow White in the middle, and then Little Mermaid. And you skip the text on the first one, but then activate it on the last one. Then quick save and walk up to this thing. Right, hold down, then right, get the key, leave, walk up to this, grab the key, leave. Go, turn to the right, hold hard right, up here, do this. Hold a sort of a top left, get a good angle. That was a little too much. Go through this door, that was not really sloppy. Hold down, wrap, sort of hold the right side really hard there. Okay, thanks game. That was an example of not holding the right side aggressively enough. Down, hold the right side, should be on. Here we go. You have to go around the chair, which is annoying. Pro tip, there's something I still need to learn to do. Flip your camera here, so you always know where the door is. Alright, go to sort of a down right. Down. Cut through this door up here. Hold top left. Cut through that door. Down left. Hard right. Sort of an upright, really. Hard right, lean in. Hold upright. Go down right with the mouse. Activate, quick save, skip the cutscene. You'll get instant acceleration. Go down. Flick to reposition. Hold down left. With this door, mash 4 on the keyboard. Alright, you'll prime the shotgun for the next room. This guy gave me really good RNG, so he's not there. Go through this, don't skip the cutscenes, quick save, wait for him to wrap, then skip. You save a bit of frames there by having him wrap during the cutscene. Go down. Cut through here. That was sloppy, but you get the idea. Flick up instantly when it flips. Hold right. Do this, that was slow. Unfortunate, he might hit me. Those guys are RNG if they hit you or not. Okay, go through here. Pyramid head fight. Basically what you're going to want to do here, go hard right, boom, boom, shoot him twice. It'll work every time. Switch to the pistol. Wait for him, walk up to him about now. Boom, you can get a bad RNG thing where he like aims in, we didn't get it. Walk up. Activate the egg on the door. Quick save to walk to the right. Blah, blah, blah. Go up here. Activate the second egg. Go through here. Nope, save needed. Go through this door. Mash 4 upon entering. Upon exiting, I meant enter that door. Start mashing 4. Boom. We're priming up the shotgun. Alright, so up here,
Mary?
I'm going to show the new
What
way
do
of
you
doing this. So I'm not going to
James?
show the way we switch the controls. because this is the faster way to do it, so I'm going to show the faster way to do it. But if you're a beginner,
Damn
switch your
flowers.
controls
Just
to
go home
rotational,
already.
and you can go up these
Mary,
stairs. But
what are you saying?
the way I'm about to show is faster if executed correctly. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to walk up to the sort of the edge of the stairs, and you're going to hold the search view button. You have to do this at a certain angle. And he'll walk up the stairs. Normally he doesn't do this, right? Hold search view, hold the right angle, he'll walk up the stairs. Hold search view, hold the right angle, we'll walk up the stairs. Finding the angle can be annoying. Try to do the exact sides I'm doing, as it's usually easier to do it on these sides, but it doesn't matter necessarily. Arithmic has a very solid stairs in his run. Come at Mary at this angle, because you don't want to jit too far to the left, because otherwise she will always send the bats, which loses you time. So it's better to risk being grabbed by Mary than to deal with the bats. So just walk up to her directly like this. Walk up once, shoot twice with the shotgun. He's dead. Flick the pistol, walk once, walk away. That's the run. So, things that can go bad there, right? Things that can go bad. Make sure you skip the cutscene after this, by the way, because it sacks IGT. The one where he's like walking with the cemetery with Laura.
Mary?
This cutscene's fine. Next one is not fine. But you need to show the results screen in your run, so make sure that you don't skip past the results screen. If you do, just save the run you're on and load the save. It'll show the results screen and your run is still submittable. I'll just show the cutscene you're supposed to skip. This one. Notice what the IGT is running. So make sure you mash the skip button. These are fine though. And yeah, that boat time was really bad. Watch Arithmic's run. Or Arithmic. Not Arithmic. Watch. Well, you can watch his run for a good boat, I think, too, but Andred, she's a good boat. But what I talked about is still true. Like, you hold W, hold D, row once, WD, whatever. I explained it back then. Things that can go wrong during Mary, she can grab you, which loses time. There's nothing you can do about it. The bats can sometimes come out. Those are a distance thing, though. That's why I said always take a direct line. And yeah, you want the leave ending, because the leave ending is faster than Maria. Maria ending sacks time due to just how the ending is structured. And the cutscene loses. There's some cutscene in this game where you'll just lose 2 seconds no matter what. Maria ending has one of those cutscenes. I forgot the split, by the way, a lot, but who cares? Let me think if there's anything else I need to explain. Yes, okay. So, whatever, I'm not going to save this, obviously. So, here's one thing that's important from Suruna.com you can pick up. So notice how I only have one game that's actually saved, and it's this game result from Suruna.com. This is a Maria ending, right? You want one Maria ending saved only, because it'll pretty much give you the leave ending every single time. And you can get that from Suruna.com. Like, notice how I have no other endings saved besides that one. And because how the game is structured, it will give you leave ending more often if you already got the Maria ending. So it's good to have a Maria ending as your only game result saved, because that's what it uses as a reference. And yeah, I think that's it. Let me look through my saves to see if there's any niche movement thing I might want to explain a little bit. I think I went over most of them. I mean, I don't know. I kind of just played through the game, explaining things. Let me show the boat again. Let me show how to do a good boat. I wasn't very satisfied with that boat. Let me just show like what a good boat looks like. Alright, so I'll go over the boat again and hopefully actually get a good boat. I wasn't really thinking last time. So do this, skip, hold D, one row, WD, about 1 second or so, let off D, hold W. You can sort of use the other, you can use A if you go a little bit, and boom. You can use A to slow yourself down a bit on that turn if you have to, but normally you just hopefully would line it up so that you can just hold W and he'll just go. This is a good line. This will give you 55 seconds if you use the keyboard. The controller is inconsistent, and generally speaking, you don't want to do that with the boat. You can though, but it's not anywhere near as consistent as using it with the yeah, that I think any other niche things I can talk about. If you start the game If you want to like notice how my shit is set up so it's always on beginner normal. If you want this on any difficulty setting, just go into the game, quick save, and then leave. And you'll have that. So every time you start the game, you can just mash, and it'll show up at those settings every time. I think of anything last second that I didn't talk about. Yeah, let me just like reiterate what I've been saying. Just watch other people's runs, study what they do, copy what they do, practice movement. Movement is the number one thing to learn in this game. Is how to move. All the other skips and everything are fairly irrelevant. You can not do RNG manipulation, and you can do none of the skips and still get a good time just by having good movement. So always keep that in mind. Movement is the number one thing. And yeah, that's it, I think. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for watching. And also watch Punchy's tutorial as well if you're just watching this one, because he goes over more stuff than I did. I tried to show off some of the newer stuff. That's sort of my goal with this. But I think he has a more thorough explanation of the route than I do. But yeah, that's it. So peace out.